Hey, Mortgage Coach community, Dave Savage here, and today I am interviewing Kelly Marsh. Welcome to the Mortgage Coach community, Kelly.
Thanks, Dave. Thanks for having
Good.
me.
Well, thanks for being here. So folks, I've known Kelly for a long time. She's a top producer, averages over $100 million a year as a team out of Santa Barbara, California. But she's only started using Mortgage Coach. Kelly, how long has it been that you've jumped on the Mortgage Coach team?
I started in August. 2017.
Awesome. And you've almost created 200 total cost analysis, or you and your team have almost created that. So I want to ask you, one, give everybody just a little bit about your mortgage practice, your market, what your perfect borrower experience looks like. And then I want to get into, why you adopted Mortgage Coach, how you have integrated it into your borrower experience. So if you can start with just a little backstory.
Okay, so I really believe in the power of face-to-face. So I have designed my mortgage practice really meeting with clients. I personally am the loan originator. I'm a producing branch manager. I'm the one that's meeting with that client face-to-face. What I have refined over the years is really trying to make the most of that face-to-face, the highest level conversations we can have. So I'm now no longer having clients bring in their paperwork, so I'm data entering everything. When they come in, I've already reviewed their docs. I've got everything. Our goal is to get as much information ahead of time, so when they come in, I can have the most powerful face-to-face where I educate, guide, and connect them.
Got it. So the majority of your clients are coming through your office experience. Now, why did you implement and adopt Mortgage Coach, and how are you using it within that in-office borrower experience?
I'm using it when I meet with the client. Sometimes if I have enough information, I've already prepped that total cost analysis based on the goals and dreams of that client and what I see that they qualify for. So I already have it prepped and ready to go. And then when they come in and meet face-to-face, I'm going to turn my monitor. I've got great big monitors on my desk. I'm going to turn it, and then we're going to go through that total cost analysis. I'm probably going to have to tweak a couple things, but you do 200 of them, you can do them pretty quickly now. So I'm going to definitely be showing them the total cost analysis with them sitting here in my office. It's really powerful. And then I'm going to follow up and send them the PDF, and something new I've learned is the email link, which I think is pretty high level. It's a wow factor. So
yeah, no doubt. Well, the beauty of the link is it's a shareable digital link. So, I talk a lot about app share. You want to get borrowers and families to download your app so that you can deliver the total cost analysis, and you want to teach them to share it, because let's face it, there's people that are in your office, but there are people that are not in your office that are influencing that family. And you want them all to have the goods. You want them to have your digital link, and they can all see the advice that you're presenting and that's evolving. So, by the way, how long is it taking you to create a total cost analysis on average?
I would say on average, I can probably do a pretty extensive one in anywhere from 5 to 10 minutes if I'm going to do a lot more analysis and really kind of enter. I mean, I can do it in, less than 2 minutes. If it's a simple, maybe just 2 or 3 scenarios, a 15, 20, or 30-year comparison. But if I'm really getting into maybe some a little bit more advanced stuff, then that might take maybe 5 to 10 minutes, which is way faster than it used to take.
Yeah, by the way, and that's what I tell people. I want to hear, how many did you have to do until it went from it's slowing you down and you didn't like doing it to where, wow, this is fast, better, and easier. So how many times do you think you needed to create one before it got to that point?
I would say, if I were to guess, I would think, no more than 10. And here's the thing that I told my other LOs in the office here is do 10, just make them up if you don't have 10 clients that you need to do them for, but do 10 of them in a row. Like if we do one and then the next 3 days later we do another one, that's really not going to serve you. You need to really do them consistently at the very beginning. Hopefully you have enough volume that you're doing them consistently all the time. But if you're, a lower producer looking to boost your production, just start doing scenarios, like make up client scenarios and start doing it and see how it looks. You're going to catch like, oh yeah, that's right. I got to fix that when I do that and, correct that. And you'll learn a lot of shortcuts if you do a lot. So 10 in a row and you're good. I think you're good to go.
And when you say 10 in a row, is that like 10 in one day or 10 in like 3 days?
It depends on how you learn. I learn really well by doing. I'm a visual person. So I would say if you could do 5 in a row, back to back, the same day, that's going to serve you. And then the next day, maybe do 3. I mean, you're not talking that much time. And if we're complaining about, oh, I just don't, I don't have enough time for that. We have to make the time because this is our duty as a loan originator to be able to present a very powerful presentation to a client to advise them. We're mortgage advisors. That's our job. So make the time if you don't have the time. If you're not producing 30 loans a month, then you need to find the time. If you're not already.
I love that. And then, what are you saying to the family before you give the total cost analysis so that it's got context? It's not, there's the fee worksheet, transactional loan officer. There is the mortgage coach, mortgage advisor, providing options, providing total cost. How do you frame that in a way that, the client's excited about it, they understand it, and they clearly see how you're different and better than your peers?
If the client, like I'll give you an example, Dave. Yesterday I had 2 clients back to back. They weren't quite ready to, I didn't have enough information to have a TCA prepared. So instead of having to start it from scratch with the client there, I explained to them what I'm going to send them. I explained to them how powerful it is. We're going to look at side-by-side comparisons of different purchase price levels that they're looking at, the comparison of doing 10% versus 20%. We did more of an exploratory meeting. So I'm very structured person and I'm consistent. I love that. I thrive on that. But those clients, I'm not going to be like, sorry, I can't meet with you because you don't know what purchase price and down payment you're going to do, so don't bother coming into my office. I had to adapt. I met with them. I figured out what it is that they we explored together. They had lots of questions. They were both engineers, so I think we know how that goes. Loved the questions. And then what I did is I prepared them for what I'm going to send them. And so I'm going to send that to them today. I had meetings all the rest of the day and last night, so I couldn't do it. So I'm sending it to them today, but I prepared them for it. And what's really exciting, I'm sending them the email link this time. So I'm sending them the PDF and the email link, which is my new, the add-on that I'm doing with Mortgage Coach. So that was that particular experience with the client yesterday.
I love it. Well, I think you're a great success story where you've been an educator and advisor. That's how you become so successful. But you also recognize that change is happening. The way families do life, the way home buyers do life. I mean, technology is becoming more and more a part of that. My mission is to get everybody in the Mortgage Coach community ready for 2020. I do believe that there's going to be more change over the next 2 years than we've seen in the previous 10 years as it pertains to technology. And by the way, I interviewed the former chief futurist of Intel, Steve Brown. I'm going to put a link below. And he, in that interview, he shares, why referral-based local loan officers need to use technology so that they connect with more families. And when they do connect, it's a better experience. So let's close on that thought. When you started using Mortgage Coach because you believe that it would help you deliver a better connection and better value. What flipped that switch? When I ask you, you're a Mortgage Coach, why? What was it that did flip the switch? Because you've known about Mortgage Coach for many years. Mm-hmm. I personally have tried to recruit you to the Mortgage Coach way of doing things for a long time, but the switch flipped in your head. So, and I think that's, loan officers, accountability is important, but when I think of every time that I personally changed a habit, it was because I started thinking differently. Steve Scanlon with Rewire is a good friend of mine, and him and I had a conversation about this recently, that to create change, you need to just change the way you think. So what's different about the way you think now versus, what was it, August of 2017? What changed that flipped that switch?
Well, the starting is that I transitioned my team to a new company. So I joined Cornerstone Home Lending in July. Learning the new software, everything that was different. I had to basically do every single new software that I had been doing except Optimal Blue, and that was it. Everything else was new. So I needed to get that 30 days under my belt, and then I did Mortgage Coach. I did a webinar with you guys, and I decided this is what I need to do. I think I realized, when you were talking earlier about technology, I had this kind of epiphany. I think I had this resistance to adapting these new technology shortcuts or softwares because I was a face-to-face. I believe in the power of face-to-face, educate, guide, connect. And somehow I had told myself that if I use all these softwares and I go more into technology, I'm going to replace myself. I don't think that's the case. I think what we do is we up our game. We are providing a better experience to the client without giving up that face-to-face connection and guiding them. And then, having them connect with you so they trust you. So utilizing some of the technologies is not going to give up what I believe is the most important, which is that face-to-face connection. I think you can do it pretty powerfully, obviously through video conferencing. I think you can do it through the phone, but I just don't think it's as powerful as a face-to-face. So I don't think I answered your question directly, but I had that epiphany and it really kind of sunk in. And I think that's what connected the dots for me in August.
Well, by the way, I heard something that you said that in my mind, which flipped the switch, is you said before, I always looked at technologies that something got in the way of me and my personal connection with people. Mm-hmm. And you changed the way you thought of at least this particular technology, Mortgage Coach. You said, wait a minute, I now see it as something that could enhance my personal mm-hmm. connection. And that is what, created that mind shift that created adoption, So I guess my goal here is to get people thinking differently because 2020 is coming. And trust me, in 2020, a family will be able to call into a phone to ask, hey, what's your rate? Or ask about mortgages, and they will not know if they're talking to a human being or a robot. And big data is driving, so that, call it the technology companies that do loans, they're going to have predictive analytics to know who's likely buying and selling, who should refinance, and they're going to be coming down on your customers at the right time in the right way in this multi-channel way. And I just come from this philosophy and this belief that loan officers and professionals like yourself have zero to worry about because, when you think of a world where everything that can be automated will be automated, we can't automate our personal connection. People are always going to love stories and people are always going to love people. People that are lovable. And so your challenge on this, listen to this video is you need to adopt technology that helps you connect with more people more efficiently, a la CRM, means you need to relentlessly gather data so that now you can customize and personalize in a way that's scalable, in a way that's modern. So, if you've got a CRM and you're a mortgage professional and you're not putting in multi-channel, text, email, all the ways that family wants to communicate, think of it this way, you've decided that there's a race. You want to be the best loan officer in your marketplace. You want to be the best loan officer that you can. And some people are going, to get to the finish line, they're riding downhill with the wind at their back. And some people are riding uphill with the wind at their face. Who's going to win? The people riding uphill with the wind at their face are not going to kill it. They're not going to be their best. They're not going to have the most market share. So you need to use technology. It will help you talk to more people. So Kelly, you've been awesome. Any last words of wisdom for other referral-based local loan officers that thought like you did, but they need to think differently?
I would say utilizing the technology is going to make you better. I think we owe it to our clients to look. We might be smart, right? We're smart. We know what we're doing, but why not put it together in a presentation that really, so I'd say start it and do it and you'll be grateful. I'm grateful.
Love it.
grateful. Thank you,
Well,
Dave, for not giving up on me.
Yeah, no, yeah, hey, and by the way, that's the other thing is everybody is it's not like months of pain. You know, it's a couple weeks. You can fast track your success with a mortgage coach in a couple weeks. I'm going to put a link down below. I interviewed John Downs, another $100 million producer that, you know, kind of put off adopting mortgage coaching technology. That he fast tracked it. And in 2 weeks, he mastered it. And in 30, 45 days, he was killing it. And you're the same thing. So that's the other thing, everybody, is change doesn't need to be this long, multiple month, multiple week process. Change can happen in a week. Change can happen in 3 days. But you got to change the way you think. You got to do some repetitions, you know, of everything, whether it's your CRM, whether it's a new mobile app that you and your company have decided will give you a competitive advantage. You know, it's really just a, you know, change the way you think, do the reps, share the success, and rock it out. Hey, Kelly, thank you for taking time, and I'm super stoked that you're part of our community now.
Thank you. Bye.
All right, take care, everybody. Oh, and everybody, make sure if you got value from this, share it with the mortgage friend, like it, let Kelly and I know that you liked it, and ask us a question or comment if you have anything to say. Take care, everybody.